Good day, viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on The Current. It's been a pleasure having you around every time we have to do this on ITV. My name is Frida Isekwa, and today promises to be very, very beautiful because we have a couple of issues that we'll be discussing, especially that has to do with fostering peaceful coexistence. It's no more news that there's been so much chaos in the country, and people keep saying that we've had the worst division that we've ever had. There's so much division, religious division, ethnical division in the country right now, and people are beginning to have issues to doubt and challenge, have reasons to suspect or disregard, what's the word, this government, and that's the present issue right now, coming from Benue killings to Boko Haram to the IPOB to general killings in the country. It's been so much, and the government is not really responding like Nigerians would want them to respond to issues. So as to the Shiites as well, their leader who has been arrested for months and all that, and he's been raising a lot of issues. The Shiites people had been in Abuja almost every day in the last 1 week, asking questions, causing riots, doing a lot of having clashes with the police. So much has been happening as regards peace in this country. Now we're talking about how to foster peaceful coexistence in Nigeria, and I have with me that we'll be talking about it Alhaji Tijani. Alhaji Tijani is an elder statesman, and is someone who has the love of this country, and is one of the most topmost persons who have access to the present administration. We'll be taking that interview shortly. Don't go away. For your child, a sound, structured academic background, a one-time trial for university admission, a gateway to success and career exploit, then Kingsville Schools is your best bet for primary, secondary, and advanced level studies. With a track record of 100% success in senior secondary school examination in the last 8 years, excellent result in Cambridge advanced level examinations, as well as offering foreign university foundation programs, Kingsville Schools has got all it takes to bring out the best potential in your child. Conducive environment with air-conditioned classrooms and hostel accommodations, fully equipped library and laboratory facilities, adequate sporting and recreational facilities, a sound curriculum run by seasoned lecturers to give your child the best of learning in a surreal environment. For inquiries on admission, contact us at plot 1450 Jahi Cadastral Zone behind Nest Cash and Carry, Abuja, or visit our website www.kingsvilleschools.com.ng, or call any of these numbers 081 6925 1268 or 080 6521 0386. Kingsville Schools, building tomorrow leaders today. In case you're just joining us, this is The Current, and I'm right here with an elder statesman who has a lot of presidential recognitions, as well as someone who has deep love for the country. He's going to be telling us some things about the crisis in the nation and how to bring about peace, unity, peaceful coexistence is major to what we're going to be discussing today. I'm talking about Alhaji Tijani Abdurrauf, MNI OFR. So thank you for joining me.
It's my pleasure. You are welcome.
It's no longer news that there's a lot of chaos in the country. Fulani X-Men, Benue crisis, the Boko Haram issue, they've taken more territories, and more so there's a lot of division in the sense that talking to one or two persons in the country, and somebody told me that Nigeria has never been as divided as it is now, and there's segregation. If you're not a Muslim, you will not get some things. If you're not a Christian, you will not get some offers, government's offers. And also, if you're not outside, this division It's actually causing a lot of chaos presently in the country. Now, what do you have to say to the government? Because people tend to believe that this present administration is responsible for what is happening. What's your take?
You have like a kind of comprehensive question. A very complicated and very, very volatile. You're talking of division, you're talking of Fulani henchman killing who. Everything is compounded without any deep experience. Hardly can answer your question, but let me assist you. Something responsible for division, something responsible for polarity. And from the time immemorial, it is an issue that if you allow two wars to break out, religious war, tribal war, you will see the beginning, you will not see the end. So, the essence of governance is to manage the crisis, to ensure that they coexisted in peace and good things of life. And the father of philosophy made us to understand one thing. It's a human being. Wherever you come from, you share one thing in common: ability to reason. If the population of Nigeria, with Obasanjo pegged at 180 million, cannot get at least 1,000 reasonable human beings to sit down and reason it the way we call ourselves into other people, you're a fool. Cause trouble, you lose your life, you lose everything. Then we'll be able to reason with ourselves as a human being. Because human being, we are the superior being created by Allah. And why are we made superior being? Because of our faculties, ability to reason. That's why the father of philosophy said, human being, wherever they come from, they share one thing in common: ability to reason. As long as human beings still possess that ability to reason, then there is a solution to all the problems. Is intimidating, is threatening everybody in the country. Nigeria is going to break into pieces. Nigeria will not break into pieces because Nigeria comprises of human beings that Allah endowed with the sense of reasonability.
From what you just explained, you said the peace and coexistence you would have in the country is highly dependent on the civilians, on Nigerians. Okay, that's what you just said. But are you trying to shift the blame from the government? Because when you compare the previous trend, we've not said that there are not been division or anything like it, but this governance, the present administration has shown some lapses, especially with the Fulani herdsmen killing. It's kept on and on until there was riot and all that thing before prioritizing this men, and they are trying to restore peace and all that. Now, these are the issues we expect to avoid religious, ethnical crisis, that the government intervenes. So are you exonerating the government from these issues present in the country?
You see, then the legislative will formulate the law, and the judiciary will use that particular law formulated by the first arms of the government, which is legislature, to judge any dispute between I and you. So the judge now said, then we all agree on this law. It's a social contract between us and the nation. And you cannot flout that law. So if you flout the law, the judge will say, go to prison. The judge will say, go and pay this fine. That is what they call the government. You understand what I'm saying? So if it is the turn of Buhari that the Fulani have started killing people, It is not to say Buhari is responsible. What caused it? How many departments we have responsible for investigating? We have social department, we have investigation department, we have department of policing, we have soldiers to protect the territorial integrity of the nation. So government is an organization. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And when you say government, government is an artificial body. It is Buhari and others. They are biological servants that control the machinery of that artificial body called government. So it's a misplacement of priority that the present Buhari responsible for it. It's the government you are talking about. Is either you agree together to form a government, and we now go on a bylaws. We voted individual we believe it can deliver or represented us or manage the commonwealth of the nation very well. So if there is any problem, the problem is caused by members of the public that give the collective power to Buhari, to Senate President, to Onoge, the head of the judiciary. Are you getting what I'm saying? So we blame ourselves, we call ourselves into order. That's why I started that human being, wherever you come from, we share one thing in common, ability to reason. We call ourselves into order. Let us be reasonable as a human being.
If I got you correctly, sir, you said we collectively are the government because we elected a leader who we chose to represent us in a particular seat. But what do we have to say? And you also said the powers rest on the judiciary to execute the laws that were proceeded by the legislature. Good. Now, let's take an example. One of the issues that is causing a lot of national concern lately, the issue of the Shiites. Okay, fine.
Shia Muslim.
Yes. There's this saying that people believe that Shiites people are not really Muslim. They are one kind of one selected body that is not a tough Muslim. And so, since their leader had been arrested and detained and kept in detention, even though the court had ordered that he be freed, he had not been freed. Now, who do we blame for this? Is it we that elected the present administration, or the administration that cannot insist on getting their officials respect existing laws and procedures?
The issue of Shia Muslim and the continued detention of Al-Zazaki is unfortunate. It's unfortunate in no ramification. And the president is a big man. He cannot deny that he should not be accountable for it. I know President Muhammad Buhari very well. If he made a mistake, he say, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake," even though he's a Fulani. But he's not the person that will shy away from his responsibility. You see, in the governance, you have Judas on vindictive acts. But whatever the crime committed by the servants, the master will pick it. Even though crime is personal. But this liability, it is the master will pick it. It is President Muhammad Buhari will pick the liability of any atrocity committed against this Shia Muslim. Because it is very clear in the Constitution. You must respect the free movement, free religions, free association. So, Constitution is not an academic textbook for abstract consideration. It is an organic law. It is a social contract between the nation and the citizen. It is the superior law of the land. So, there is a lot of breaching of the constitutional law, and and the contract between the nation and the Shia Muslim. And the executive cannot escape. It is when judiciary committed the crime. Judiciary cannot escape where he used judicial capacity to commit crime. He will pay for it. So also the executive, Buhari, will be held responsible for whatever happened. Even though when he's on seat, nobody can challenge him. But if they have a clear evidence, they can gather it and send it to the National Assembly. It's impeachable. So that one is a clear issue of law. If Buhari allow any servant under him, making him to commit this atrocity against the constitutional law, then Buhari will be held responsible.